The Tesla Cybertruck, once celebrated as Elon Musk's boldest and most revolutionary project, is now facing one of the most serious crises in the company's history. Originally hailed as the ultimate symbol of strength, innovation, and futuristic design, the Cybertruck has become a source of concern for customers, investors, and even longtime Tesla fans. In a surprising move, Tesla has halted deliveries of the Cybertruck and even stopped production on certain assembly lines. This sudden decision has raised serious questions. What went wrong? Why now? And is this the beginning of the end for what was once seen as Tesla's most iconic project? Customers are voicing frustration, investors are growing increasingly nervous. Elon Musk, meanwhile, is working to take back control of the narrative, but with every passing day, the questions grow louder. How could a truck marketed as unbreakable fall apart so quickly, and both literally and figuratively? Unfortunately, the bad news doesn't stop there. What started as excitement around a futuristic pickup has now turned into a nightmare of recalls. The US National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, announced in March 2025 that nearly 46,000 Cybertrucks are being recalled due to a serious safety defect related to the vehicle's body panels. This isn't a minor cosmetic flaw. It's a structural problem that poses a real danger to drivers and those around them. According to the recall, the aluminum steel panels on the Cybertruck were not properly secured to the vehicle's frame. In everyday use, this could cause body components to loosen, or at highway speeds even detach entirely from the vehicle. Imagine a piece of steel flying off a truck traveling at 70 miles per hour. It becomes a dangerous projectile, a real-life hazard that has no place on the road. This is especially troubling because the Cybertruck was marketed as nearly indestructible, with bulletproof glass, a supposedly ultra-durable exoskeleton, and a futuristic look. It was supposed to redefine the entire truck segment. But now, early owners are reporting that some parts came loose shortly after delivery, indicating the problem may have existed from the start. And yet, Tesla went ahead with deliveries anyway. Tesla is now trying to manage the crisis by offering free repairs for affected vehicles. But this raises more troubling questions. Why didn't the company detect this issue earlier? Were internal warnings ignored in the rush to launch the vehicle? Insiders suggest that Tesla was under immense pressure to finally bring the Cybertruck to market after years of delays. In the race to meet expectations and deliver the long-awaited truck, quality control may have taken a back seat to speed. A particularly troubling aspect of the Cybertruck's design is how Tesla chose to attach the stainless steel body. Unlike traditional automakers who rely on bolts or welding, Tesla opted to use industrial adhesives, a bold move that now appears to have backfired. This adhesive, which Tesla had once promoted as a technical breakthrough, is now at the center of a massive safety crisis. The adhesive simply doesn't hold up well under extreme environmental conditions. Exposure to heat, cold, rain, and UV rays degrades the bond over time. One of the most vulnerable parts is a stainless steel trim piece between the windshield and roof. As the glue deteriorates, this piece can detach, potentially flying off while the vehicle is in motion. The consequences could be catastrophic. That's why Tesla is recalling all affected vehicles, specifically Cybertrucks produced between November 2023 and February 2024. The solution involves replacing the faulty trim with a redesigned version that uses a more durable adhesive and includes added reinforcement. While this might fix the immediate issue, it doesn't erase the growing concern over how such a mistake happened in the first place. Industry experts are sharply criticizing Tesla's reliance on adhesive instead of more traditional proven methods like bolts or welds. Many see this decision as a mix of cost-saving strategy and a rush to simplify production. Tesla has always aimed to be different, but in this case, different may have come at the expense of safety and quality. The unique stainless steel body of the Cybertruck, which gives it its bold, angular look, is notoriously difficult to work with. It's hard to shape, hard to paint, and as we now know, hard to bond effectively with glue. This raises an important question. Why didn't Tesla stick with tried and true assembly techniques? The company previously presented its adhesive-based design as a leap forward in manufacturing innovation, but now it seems that innovation came without enough testing. The result? A costly recall, a blow to Tesla's reputation, and a lot of angry customers. And this is far from the Cybertruck's only problem. Since its launch in late 2023, the vehicle has been plagued by a series of issues. In just over a year, Tesla has issued more than half a dozen recalls, an alarming number for a product that was meant to symbolize Tesla's engineering superiority. The first recall happened in January 2024 over something seemingly small. The dashboard warning icons were too tiny to meet safety standards. But by April, things had escalated. Tesla had to recall nearly 4,000 Cybertrucks because the rubber pad on the accelerator could come loose and jam the pedals, potentially causing the vehicle to accelerate uncontrollably. Then, in June 2024, there were 2 more recalls. One affected more than 11,000 units due to faulty windshield wipers, which could fail during rain or snow. The other involved the truck bed cover, which could detach while driving, a major hazard on highways. In September 2024, yet another recall followed. More than 27,000 Cybertrucks had malfunctioning rear-view cameras. While this was fixed with a software update, it raised further concerns about quality control. The hits kept coming. In November 2024, a critical suspension issue prompted a recall of 2,400 vehicles. The trucks could come to a sudden stop due to a key component failure. And this problem couldn't be fixed with software. It required replacing physical parts. By December, things got even worse. Tesla had to recall nearly 700,000 vehicles, including Cybertrucks, due to faulty tire pressure sensors. The NHTSA warned that the sensors were giving incorrect readings, increasing the risk of dangerous driving, especially in heavy EVs like the Cybertruck. The largest recall to date came in March 2025. Over 46,000 Cybertrucks were brought back to service centers because of the adhesive issue, the same defect that risked panels flying off during normal highway driving. This wasn't just another recall, it became a symbol of Tesla's deeper struggles, highlighting a troubling shift from software bugs, which can be patched quickly, to serious hardware and engineering failures. That shift is far more damaging, both financially and in terms of consumer trust. While Tesla has long prided itself on using over-the-air software updates to fix problems fast, hardware issues like these require hands-on repairs, facility visits, and physical part replacements. It's costly, time-consuming, and damaging to a brand built on promises of precision and high-tech innovation. The question is no longer whether something is wrong, it's how much damage has already been done. The financial markets responded swiftly. Following the March 2025 recall announcement, Tesla's stock plummeted, losing more than half its value compared to the previous December. The investor community, once enthusiastic and bullish on Tesla's future, now began expressing serious doubts. Analysts downgraded the stock, hedge funds restructured their portfolios, and retail investors flooded online forums with concerns about whether Tesla could recover. At the center of all this turbulence was the Cybertruck. Originally marketed as Tesla's ultimate innovation, a vehicle that would shake up the pickup truck market and reassert Tesla's dominance in the electric vehicle space. Elon Musk had described it as a game changer and a symbol of the company's design and technological prowess. The truck's bulletproof glass, angular stainless steel exoskeleton, and futuristic look made it one of the most anticipated EVs in history. Yet despite the hype, reality has fallen short. Dramatically so. While Tesla claimed over 2 million pre-orders at the Cybertruck's reveal, the actual sales numbers for 2024 were staggering in the opposite direction. Fewer than 39,000 Cybertrucks were sold that year, representing a massive shortfall in both demand and delivery capability. The gap between expectation and reality couldn't be wider. Meanwhile, Tesla's inventory is piling up. Those early premium Foundation Series models, once marketed as exclusive, now sit unsold at Tesla showrooms and delivery centers with rapidly declining price tags. What was meant to feel rare and collectible is being quietly repositioned as clearance stock. It seems Tesla is more concerned with offloading these trucks than celebrating them. Even more worrisome is the growing sentiment that the Cybertruck is no longer a bold leap forward, but instead one of the biggest missteps in Tesla's history. Critics are calling it a marketing disaster. The radical design, once seen as futuristic and exciting, now appears awkward, impractical, and even outdated in a market that's shifting towards sleek, efficient, and customer-friendly EVs. Tesla's situation is further complicated by how badly the Cybertruck has been received, or rather, not received, in international markets. While the North American market is already signaling warning signs, the Cybertruck's outlook in Europe is even bleaker. European regulatory bodies have expressed serious concerns about the Cybertruck's design. What was intended to look like a futuristic tank, with its rigid angular stainless steel body, doesn't align with EU pedestrian safety standards. In fact, it directly contradicts them. European safety regulations require that vehicles absorb impact in a way that protects pedestrians and cyclists. The Cybertruck, with its rigid, unyielding body, behaves more like a steel wall in a collision. Experts warn that in the event of a crash, injuries could be far worse than with traditional vehicles. Even more revealing is the fact that as of mid-2025, Tesla hasn't even filed for official approval to sell the Cybertruck in the European Union. That silence is deafening. Many industry observers interpret it as a quiet admission that the Cybertruck may never make it to the European market. Some analysts have even stated bluntly that the vehicle is effectively unmarketable in Europe. At the same time, pressure is building from Asia, particularly China. Electric vehicle makers like BYD, NIO, XPENG, and LIAUTO are gaining ground fast. They produce vehicles at lower cost, often with higher reliability and more refined finishes. These vehicles are not only price competitive, but also meet both US and EU regulatory standards, something the Cybertruck currently cannot claim. While Tesla struggles with production quality, rising costs, and brand damage, Chinese manufacturers are already expanding their global footprint, shipping millions of units per year. In Europe, their market share is growing fast. Some experts are predicting that Tesla may lose its status as the reference point for EV performance and design sooner than anyone expected. And this pressure isn't limited to China. In the US, traditional automakers are catching up fast. Ford, GM, and Rivian have launched their own electric pickups. These models, like the Ford F-150 Lightning and the Rivian R1T, offer more conventional designs, proven reliability, and better after-sales support. Tesla now finds itself in a position it hasn't experienced in years, playing defense, not offense. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has hinted that the Cybertruck may undergo changes, a redesign, new features, structural reinforcements. But that raises a tough question. Is it too late? After all the recalls, quality issues, missed targets, and PR disasters, can any set of tweaks truly restore consumer confidence? Longtime fans are growing uneasy. Some have canceled pre-orders, others are actively shopping competitors. What was once hailed as a bold reinvention of the pickup truck has become, in the eyes of many, a cautionary tale about unchecked ambition and rushed innovation. The Cybertruck's fall from grace represents more than just a product failure. It symbolizes a deeper, systemic challenge within Tesla as a company. The idea of the Cybertruck wasn't merely to sell another vehicle, it was to redefine an entire segment. It was marketed as a rugged, post-apocalyptic machine that fused sci-fi aesthetics with bleeding-edge tech. But the reality, plagued by recalls, poor build quality, and regulatory hurdles, now paints a different picture. At its core, the Cybertruck crisis exposes a growing disconnect between Tesla's bold promises and the realities of mass production. Elon Musk, known for his vision and relentless drive, has built Tesla into the most iconic electric vehicle brand on the planet. But as the company scales up, it's facing the very challenges traditional automakers have dealt with for decades: quality control, regulatory compliance, and product reliability. And in Tesla's case, the spotlight is always 10 times brighter. This high visibility means every misstep is amplified, every malfunction goes viral, every recall hits headlines. Musk once described the Cybertruck as a glitch in the matrix, something so radically different that it would shake up the industry. And in a way, it did, but not necessarily for the right reasons. Instead of being the disruptive game changer, the Cybertruck is now shaping up to be a case study in over-promising and under-delivering. There's also a cultural shift happening in Tesla's customer base. Once dominated by tech enthusiasts and early adopters, the audience is maturing. Today's EV buyers are less interested in shock value and more focused on practicality, reliability, and service, areas where Tesla has started to lag behind. Competitors, especially legacy automakers, are catching up fast. Their vehicles might not look as radical as the Cybertruck, but they deliver where it counts: ride comfort, build quality, safety, and dealership support. Internally, this has created strain. Reports from insiders suggest that morale on Cybertruck-related teams has taken a hit. Engineers are frustrated by unrealistic timelines. Suppliers are growing cautious. Even some high-level Tesla executives have reportedly raised concerns over the Cybertruck's long-term viability. Musk, for his part, remains defiant. In recent interviews, he has doubled down on his belief that the Cybertruck will be successful in the long run, describing current problems as short-term turbulence. But confidence alone won't fix structural design flaws, nor will charisma calm shareholders as Tesla's stock continues to slide. Financial analysts are already revising their forecasts. In early 2025, Tesla was projected to sell over 150,000 Cybertrucks annually by 2026. Those estimates have now been cut in half. Some banks have even removed the Cybertruck from their long-term Tesla growth models entirely, citing uncertain market fit and unresolved design risks. Meanwhile, Tesla's competition continues to strengthen. Ford's F-150 Lightning, for instance, may lack the Cybertruck's dramatic look, but it's winning buyers with its familiar design, reliable build, and strong dealer support. Rivian's R1T, though pricier, appeals to outdoor enthusiasts with its smart features and smooth handling. General Motors is rolling out its electric Silverado with aggressive pricing and fleet appeal. These companies are not trying to reinvent the wheel, they're improving it. In contrast, Tesla took a radical leap with the Cybertruck, and now it's being forced to pay the price for that risk. Unlike the Model S or Model 3, the Cybertruck wasn't just an EV, it was a statement, a rejection of industry norms. And while that made it a cultural phenomenon at launch, it also made it uniquely vulnerable to scrutiny, because once the mystique fades, all that remains is the hardware. And right now, that hardware is underperforming. There's also a global perspective to consider. The Cybertruck's design, with its sharp angles and hard edges, fails to meet basic pedestrian safety requirements in many parts of the world. Europe, for example, requires vehicles to have crumple zones and energy-absorbing front structures. Features the Cybertruck, with its rigid stainless steel body, simply doesn't offer. As a result, Tesla hasn't even submitted it for European certification, effectively abandoning an entire continent. Asia, too, is becoming a difficult battlefield. Chinese automakers like BYD, XPeng, and Li Auto are not only flooding their domestic market with competitive EVs, they're exporting aggressively. Their vehicles are cheaper, well-made, and tailored to local needs. And they're increasingly meeting global regulatory standards, giving them access to Europe and even parts of Latin America and the Middle East. Tesla, once the undisputed leader in electric mobility, is now struggling to maintain its dominance. The broader problem is that Tesla is no longer a scrappy startup. It's a global giant. With that comes responsibility, expectations, and scrutiny. The Cybertruck's failure to live up to its hype reflects a company caught between its disruptive past and its industrial future. Can Tesla still afford to behave like a rule-breaking innovator, or must it now operate like a serious automaker with real accountability? Even among Musk's most loyal fans, cracks are forming. The Cybertruck's delays, recalls, and now its structural flaws are testing the patience of even the most faithful Tesla supporters. Forums are filled with frustrated buyers. Reservation holders are canceling. YouTube reviewers, once cheerleaders, are increasingly critical. The narrative has shifted, and in a brand-driven company like Tesla, perception is everything. Musk's challenge now isn't just fixing a truck, it's restoring faith in his vision, in his company, and in the future of Tesla as a trustworthy leader in the EV world. The road ahead for the Cybertruck and for Tesla is steep. In the coming months, the company will need to do more than patch up recalls or adjust marketing. It must show that it can deliver on bold promises and maintain quality, safety, and global credibility. The Cybertruck was supposed to redefine what an electric vehicle could be. Instead, it now stands as a warning about the risks of overpromising and under-delivering. Whether Tesla chooses to redesign the Cybertruck, restrict it to select markets, or eventually phase it out, one thing is clear: this saga will shape the company's next chapter. If it learns from this, the brand could emerge stronger, more disciplined, and better equipped to face a growing field of competitors. But if not, the Cybertruck could become a lasting symbol of Tesla's turning point. From bold pioneer to overstretched empire. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is this just a bump in the road or a serious red flag for Tesla's future? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated on the Cybertruck story and all things Tesla.